they were not aggressively shut downing at me. They had every right to be. I was keeping things vague here. I was being a bit of an ass. And these people that I've come to know a bit more, they asked me, no, they said they were going to take the opportunity, since I had opened a space and they had kind of stepped in and co-created the conversation that was happening. They said they were going to take a chance to be vulnerable and let me know, like, hey, that thing you said, I get it. Kind of hurt, though. Kind of hurt. I'm watching myself not know what to do with that, so I'm talking about it. That was what my friends said. And I was like, wow, thank you. I thanked them a little bit then. And we got to a constructive place in the conversation. A couple of days later, I had a minute with those folks, and I was like, you know what? Fuck, no, really, though. Thank you. Because if it were me, I might have really gone off on me. In fact, I did in my head as they told me how they felt. I was like, of course, you fella. You saboteur. God, and I had all the names picked out for myself and everything. But then, you know, what ended up happening was just a good conversation. And because it kept going and didn't stop at shouting or whatever, and because I didn't stop and go quietly, wrathfully raging into the night of that conversation, the space remained and held. And I have a better, brighter understanding of communal resiliency now. It's quite something. I feel like I understand myself better now. All because I acted the ass that day. God, I wonder when the next time will be. Probably the next time I open my mouth. But this is a runcast. I consider this somewhere between a hobby and a job. I want to call it a hobby, but it does feel like there's stakes because the internet's involved. So because there's any kind of stakes, I guess hobbies have stakes too. Maybe there can be a gray area between a hobby and a job. A jobby. A hobjob. Welcome to Hobcast. I'm your host, Hobjoblin Jones. Rambling along in singing tones while my bros in the band play the bones. Welcome. I wonder what filled your mind when those words came out of me. It's like I was talking about earlier. I recognize some things. I'm not a stand-up comedian, and I recognize some patterns that I've got, some habits, and I'm looking at them, and I'm doing it in such a way that I get to cringe in real time later when I play this back, and then I get to see if I redeemed myself at all. Maybe even went somewhere deeper, better, more expansive than I would if I hadn't said anything at all, which is always at the very last, the second to first thing that I do. It's always the thing that's on my mind whenever I speak to anybody, anywhere, for any time. Should I say a goddamn thing? Whew. The time has come in my life to address that. So here I am. This isn't the only way I'm doing it. Introspecting aloud is not the only way that I'm doing it. I also bring it up in, I'm not sure if it's psychotherapy. I just call it therapy. It's in these conversations with these people. It's in these moments between when I have a chance to go back. That was another thing that was nice. I recognized looking back on some of these talks, whether from the podcast or whether from organic conversations on the net or with people in person, whatever, I've noticed I'm not quite so often lapsing into these moments where I find myself harshly critiquing my own character, my own personality, my actions and behaviors. I'm not getting mad at myself in the past so often. I'm just saying, well, there's some stuff. All right. And maybe I'll go a little further sometimes and I'll be like, oh, I'm further in the lapse. I see myself revving up the engine, starting to get mad at myself in the past. And unfortunately, I still have a pretty big apparatus that bridges madness to meanness. I've got to dismantle that fucker. There's a time to get mean. The wolves always end up coming around. The bullies, the wolves. There's a time to grit your teeth and get the job done, and that's a pretty close cousin to meanness. The grim, face forward and have at it thing. It can be laconic, it can even be snarky. There's a whole world, there's a whole realm of these parts of people. Anyway, I do catch myself, and it's wonderful. I've been like, oh yeah, I was about to do... That's right, I was about to do that thing again. And now here I am thinking about it instead of doing it. And now I'm thinking about it. And now other thoughts are creeping in, and I'm letting them come because I'm not preoccupied. Or if I am preoccupied, it's a little bit easier to slip the ego. To slip the gatekeepers of 5 and get the fuck out. I was thinking last night about you gotta help me with this quote. I know the quote, but I think the speaker is Martin Lawrence. I don't know the movie. It might have been Ice Cube. I'm trying to remember. It's a character in some movie just really aggressively saying what the problem is. Which, it's different than saying what's the problem. It sticks out in your head. And then it sounds normal again if you just add tell me what at the beginning. What's the problem? What the problem is. Tell me what the problem is. All the quirks of language I've adapted and adopted. That one's always been right there. And I've never used it even though it's so good. I would never use it in seriousness. Never once. God, I've played enough shooter games. That's a perfect line to jump into a group of enemies with and just ice them all. Jump into a room, all the brigands are in there, and you draw your blade, you're like, what the problem is? Just lay about you with your weapon, with your mighty weapon. God, I gotta add that to the list. What list, you might ask? What the problem is one. Here's another one. Bring out your broadsword. That's Tenacious D. Just sounds good. Here's another one. We're in. Or I'm in. The Game Grumps clued me into that one. They also clued me into another one, which is, take the shot. You gotta say it spastically for full effect. Take the shot. Especially after we're in. I'm in. Take the shot. Beautiful. There's so many of these punchy, beautiful, beautiful little kisses of language. The muse comes far. The muse has a reach some days. I'm trying to think of other ones on the list, but I can't think of any right now. Take 'em out. Remember that Offspring song? You gotta keep 'em separated. That's a good line too. Gotta keep 'em separated. But take 'em out. Well, that's basically take the shot, right? Jay and Silent Bob definitely had some too. I'm trying to think of them. There's a couple that I can remember. I was thinking about this one the other day too. After they beat up those kids in the hockey shirts with the clubs, Jay's screaming something like, "Go back to Canada or something. Go back to Wisconsin or something. Go back to the movies or something. Go back to the movies, you mighty duck fucks." Oh, that's so good. Well, then he goes, "Yeah," or something like that. God. So good. Later in that movie, he says, "Count the shells, sucker duck," but that's basically just take the shot. Oh, I guess that whole statement's a bit different, though. He said, "Hey, something or other." He called his target some kind of a name. "Hey, Batwing," or "Wildwing," or "Hey..." He was fighting a guy with wings, with a gun. He's like, "Hey, something. Ready for the counting game? Count the shells." And then he... It's been a spastic one. It's been a spastic little run today. Let's see if we're still filming. 45. Okay. I'm happy with that. We're only 5 or 10 away from the casa. Perfect. A perfect run. Get back home in time. Cool off. Take a shave. Take a shower. My face is on fire with itchy bramble. It's been 3 days in a row where I've been like, today's the day. It's coming off. I think today's actually the day. Finally. I want a clean visage. Visage. Appearance. Foot forward. A clean foot forward. You know, I gotta say, I took my first Epsom salt bath the other day. Or rather, it was an Epsom salt foot bath. It was quite nice. The water was hot. I was relaxed. It had been a long run that day. My dogs were aching. I put them in there, stirred up the salty water, the magnesium brine, and I set about lounging. The instructions said like 15 to 20. I think I was in there like 20. It was great. Felt great. And I wasn't too dry at the end of it. They say, careful, if you do this too much or too many times, too quickly, you might dry your shit out. I was like, nope. I was very fortunate. Breathing. I was going to do a test the other day. I was going to test either my battery life or my phone life or my leg life or the memory life on my phone. One of those. I was going to see which one failed first and just set out on a run podcasting the whole time until either my phone turned off or the memory ran out or I got too tired. I'm pretty sure I've got around 3.5, maybe 4 hours in this thing of recording time. That's not marathon worthy, unfortunately. I'm still thinking about that. Anyway, I chickened out a bit. After an hour and a half, I was like, nope, I'm good. It had been a heck of a day for the diuretics. A heck of a week, in fact. I was wrung out from the inside out. Whew. And it didn't stop when I got home. God. Fortunately, I was kind to myself in the days after. Made a full recovery and have been more responsible with coffee and peppers ever since. I say that now. We're creeping up, you know. We're creeping up. Prospectively, it might be a sober September coming up. It's always fun. The reason why I say that is because say what you want about alcohol, which itself probably can contribute to the runs, maybe heavily, depending on your usage. But what's the best thing to have with beer? Spicy food. Oh, man. 24-ounce cold one in my CB's mug. Some hot wings. Watching Hot Ones. Shout out to Sean Evans. And First We Feast. And particularly the show Hot Ones. Damn good. He just interviewed Lorde. Yeah. Guys, I don't want to talk any shit, but can we just respectfully, honorably, compassionately dismantle all the integrity that we thought that Lorde had based on her last album? I'm completely kidding. I'm sure she's fantastic. I'm sure she's a great person. I'm not sure of that. I don't know why I keep saying things like that. I'm sick of assuming that people are awesome. Just like I'm sick of assuming they're not awesome. I find those two assumptions kind of walk hand in hand in a weird way behind my back, along with a host of other things. But we were talking about Lorde. Lorde, I love ya. You're the best. However, your new album, Solar Power? Or was that just the single? I don't know. I do know I didn't like that song. Didn't like it. It was probably a naturally long and coming pendulum swing. Everything's sun-drenched in that music video. Everybody's having a good, calm, peaceful time. You know something? It's good that that exists. And it could be that the problem is mine. I identify that I have a hard time with gentle music outside of Enigma, which can sometimes get gentle. I know this because recently I've been given some gentle music to digest, and I've had a hard time with it. I'm not going to bring up the didgeridoos. That's got nothing to do with Lorde. It has a bit to do with gentle music. We'll bring that up another time. Right now we're talking about Lorde, because I didn't stop there. I listened to that song and I was like, okay, all right. It's awfully friendly music. Good for you. Didn't hate it. I just didn't like it. And then I was like, well, come on, man, it's Lorde. Hot Ones girl. She's awesome. She put out that album Pure Heroin when she was like 9. And it was a great album. Half of that album friggin' rocks my shit off. Some of it's actually kind of gentle too. Sometimes Lorde is gentle. Sometimes that's okay. Sometimes it's great. Now that I think about it, Tennis Court, that might be my favorite Lorde song. It's definitely a gentle song. It's got some heaviness to it though. The synthesizer gets a little bassy and heavy in certain parts of the chorus. And well, we're not overanalyzing that one, are we? Solar Power, not a great song. Didn't like it. If you like it, awesome. If there's good things about it. There's great things about it. Makes you want to take a vacation in Hawaii for damn sure. Makes me want to take a yoga class on a beach somewhere. Makes me want to eat vegan for a day. Makes me want to string a friendship necklace together. However, didn't like it. And then I thought to myself, well, let's give it a chance. Come on. There's got to be something on this album. So the next time that a song from that album popped into my YouTube feed, I was like, yeah, I'll give it a chance. Okay, she's still wearing yellow. That's fine. She can like yellow. Okay, it's kind of sounding the same. And it's called Nail Salon. It's called Stoned at the Nail Salon. Okay. Well, I've never been stoned at a nail salon. Maybe it's a really gentle, heartwarming, friendship-achieving experience. Maybe you gotta do a low five because you can't do a high five with your hands because you're getting your nails done. So you gotta go foot five. Or if you're getting your toenails painted, you can't do a low five, you gotta do a high five. Maybe not even that, because sometimes fives can get a little out of hand. Sometimes you're I do go on. I'm sorry, that music video kind of cracked my shit up. It was fun. It was a fun time, just not my kind of fun time. Not a bad time, though. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to give her one more shot. And I listened to another song. I forget what it was called. Because that gate is closing, this light is going to remain inhospitable to me unless I am willing to do the thing we talked about like 10 episodes ago, where I know I can cross this road safely, but the red hand is up. The red hand says, no, Justin, danger. Clearly there's a lot going on. And clearly if something does happen right now, I'm going to look like a real ass. I probably already do look like that. I'll look like twice the ass, both cheeks. Anywho, I forget what that third song was. That was a few days later. I was like, I want to like Lorde. I want to. I don't care what it sounds like. I want to like it. Give her another chance. And it was the same vibe. So good for her for being able to theme an album. I remember she said on Hot Ones, in fact, that there was, during that interview, that was before I had heard any of this. There we go. Yeah, everything was yellow. She's like, yeah, well, for Pure Heroin, we had a color theme, and then the color theme changed. It was black and brown, and then later it became purple. Now I want to do yellow and sunny colors. And I was like, cool. And credit, she achieved it. She's yellow right now, and that's cool. You go, girl. You drench people in the sunshine. There's a place for that. There's a great place for that. And this is not a shoot down. It couldn't be a shoot down because I'm not a talented musician with critical points to make. And I mean critical as in critique, not as in incise or hurt. She said she had these images and themes in her mind. I was like, yeah, that did happen. She really achieved those themes. across all 3 of those songs that I did listen to. And that was a couple of weeks ago. I haven't returned, and I haven't given her the chance since then. Because I can only take so many marshmallows in my mouth at once. I gotta take a couple and stuff them in my ears. That metaphor works for and against itself. God damn. The point was never to make sense on this podcast. The point was never to get anywhere. I mean, even as I'm talking a bunch of shit, I love Lorde. She's the best. She's got good music in her. You know, somebody floored me the other day. I forget who it was. Might have been the Snake Bros. I'm not sure who it was. It could have been anybody. Do it, dog. Yeah, he made it. But, shit. Sorry, I had to survive a touchy moment in traffic for a second there. Oh, here's another one. I'm gonna go behind you. I'm gonna go behind you real slow while looking and swiveling, baby. I should send her some of my music so that she can shoot me down. No, that's what I was saying. All that I was saying was, even in me being playfully chideful of the vibe of her music these days, even that is still just like, oh, I'm only talking about it because I love this artist. I just want to see her do more tangled up, twisted up, moody stuff. She even straightened her hair. God damn it. No, there's probably a happy medium. In fact, I know there is because Massive Attack's done it. You listen to Butterfly Caught. That's a Massive Attack song that'll put some hair in your groin. Not on, in. It's not good for you. I don't recommend more than one listen a year, let's say. Tops. It's a heavy dose. But listen to it. Listen to it and then shelve it right next to Silence of the Lambs in your little discography. Silence of the Lambs soundtrack in your little music soundtrack discology. Anyway, listen to that. And then listen to Massive Attack do a song called, I think it's called Protection. Protection. Even the music video takes place in a dollhouse. This looks like a dollhouse. A bunch of families getting together, putting the kids to bed, people watching TV. And it's a pretty comforting song. They do comforting music sometimes, but they can get heavy. And we knew that Lorde could get heavy. Now we know that you can get down and beam some suns. That's good too. That's good too. It's a blessing all around. Nothing less. I like a robust musician. Prince got heavy. Was Prince ever comforting? I don't know. I gave you homework already. Listen to Butterfly Caught, then listen to Protection. Here's another one. Here's EC. Little extra credit for you. Listen to some Prince. Listen to a song called Something in the Water They Drink. Might be called Something in the Water. It's called something. I don't know the name. Oh wait, there was a parenthetical in that title. What was it? Does not compute. So look for those keywords. Does not compute. Something in the water. Type in Prince. You'll get a pretty heavy song. Listen to it. Oh, I just realized Prince actually. I was thinking about what's the counter. I was going to have you guys think about the counter to that song. What's a comforting Prince song? A soothing, heartwarming, fluffy Prince song. I can't think of it. I can't think of anything that's just that. I know he's done stuff like that, but one thing that I know that he's done, which is both, and that's the point. Prince did it in one song. He was heavy and extremely soothing, comforting, uplifting. handshake making, hugging with the song Purple Rain. What up? That's right, I invoke the gods. I invoke the powers of the gods occasionally. I am but a humble man. Whew. But listen, I can. Whew. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think I'm over myself. It's good. I'm over my my little tizzy with myself. Justin, you can't talk about natural disasters in an area where there's natural disasters happening. Yeah, I can. There's a way of doing it, and if I do it wrong, if I do it in a way where I don't feel good or feel right, then I can adjust. I can look at it. I can think about it. I can try to find a way to be respectful. And if I can't, and I don't think I did a great job at arriving at a good place with that material earlier, but let's say that I can't, I can at least not die having made a mistake. And I'm noticing and I'm paying attention to these things. And achieving a little levity not too long after. Because life can go on and we can be imperfect, and I can apologize to folks that I'm wrong, and I can make things right. At least sometimes. There's always something that we can do to better our circumstances, and there's always some way to move and to heal and to, I don't know. I don't know, but I feel it. That's important. Well, I see that traffic is a bit on the rise. Well, what do you say, 105? It was actually 105.05. Remember last time we looked at the recording, it was 45.45. What a great run. What a great run. I'm going to go drink all the water because I have sweated every chemical out of my body. And I'm currently an amorphous blob of conceptual who knows what, certain something, certain special something spirit, also called Run Man. You don't know I'm embodied. You just know I was embodied the last time that I showed my body on camera. It's the beauty of the internet. It's movie magic. Speaking of which, we're going to get some today. I don't know how. There's going to be some sweet, picture-perfect moments today. We're going to get them. Probably not going to record them. Life is not for the recording. Life is for the living. Speaking of which, let's take a few breaths and say peace out. What, you want to sing a little Lorde first? Don't you think that it's boring how people